Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to be talking about 3 leashes that I have and how they work for me and for my dog and what's best about some of them and some of what I don't like as well. So let's get into it. First leash we have here I actually got from my puppy, Retro, and there is one big problem with this leash. I'm going to try to take 1 to 2 minutes for every leash, so I better get going. So this is called an easier release clasp. That's the closest name I could find for it, and maybe that should have clued me in because that's actually my problem. So I would not recommend getting this leash for a puppy because you know how puppies are, they bite the leash that you put on them, and my puppy has bit this leash and gotten off of it I think 3 times, maybe more. So you might want to keep that in mind when looking for a leash. Now on the plus side of this, I feel like this would be a really good durable leash because it has 2 clasps for the attachment point on the collar, and it seems like this is pretty heavy duty. This is a 6-foot leash. Aside from this clasp, and he hasn't bit it recently, it actually works really well. So I would say my main thing is if they bite this, your dog will get off. So maybe not for a puppy or for a dog who bites their leash. The next thing I do want to mention, this is really easy to get off with your dog's collar if you have gloves on or something, but on the flip side of that, it's also hard to get on because of how this opens. It's very easy not to get this open all the way, and then you're fighting with it, and it can just be hard to get onto your dog's collar. So keep that in mind when looking at this type of a clasp. Alright, moving on to our next leash. This is a very common leash. You see this all over the place. The reason I bring this one up is because you probably have one of these if you own a dog, but I found these to be really good and reliable, clasp types. I'm focusing mainly on the clasps in this video. This is a 4.5-foot leash. I do not recommend unless you're doing very close work with your dog. So this has been too short for me. This is why this looks so good. I've had it for several years. But mostly what I want to talk about is you've seen these all over the place, and there's a reason why. These particular clasps are very reliable. If I had to choose a clasp I'd put on my dog out of the ones I have, I would probably use this for this type of leash. This has been reliable, it's been good, it's probably been my go-to. I have had very little problem with it. The only one to keep in mind is that sometimes this does get stuck open if it kind of gets out of whack. And it can be hard on occasion to get open if you have gloves on. And that's about all I have to say for this leash. I feel like these are really good, reliable clasps. 4.5 foot, maybe not the best idea. I would go about 6 foot if you can, but whatever your needs are, whatever's best for your dog. Alright, moving on to my all-time favorite, and I've only just started using one of these very recently. This is, wow, the lighting makes this look awful. Okay, this is a slip lead that I made myself out of 550 paracord, and this is around 6 foot. It could be a little longer, it could be a little shorter, you never quite know. So basically what happens with this leash is that you put this part around your dog's head, right here. So this is, and you put it up as close to their, I guess, ears as you can get it. I mean, it's still on their neck. And then you control them from there. It is probably one of the most useful and versatile leashes because this can fit many sizes of dog necks. And so I just have a lobster claw clasp on this. This can be turned into a regular leash that you attach to your dog's collar. There's many tutorials out on YouTube and other places on how to make a leash like this. I did do a little modifying, so the tutorial I used, it didn't have this whole handle thing, so this is my own a version of this type of leash. So I found this to be very useful. One note I would like to make quickly I have walked dogs who are hard to walk on harnesses. I put the dog on this and they walk beautifully. So keep that in mind. If you have a dog that pulls, who doesn't work well on a harness, and I'm talking specifically back clip harnesses, this might be the way you want to go. The key is keeping it up close to the head though. So keep that in mind. Like I said, this is about a 6-foot leash. I highly recommend this. This is very versatile, and this is 550 paracord, so this is strong. It's also slightly shock absorbing. You can buy these very easily in local stores. Not this exact thing, obviously, but slip leads in local stores. They're very common. They use them in the confirmation rings. So I would recommend this leash. I would say this is my all-time favorite for control. So I would say this is a nice leash. I like the leash, but the main hang-up point I have is this clip. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about maybe getting one of these. If you have an older dog who doesn't chew on the leash, I really do think that this type of clip is probably very sturdy. But I probably won't get it for a puppy just because of how it is. Keep in mind that this can be hard to get onto your dog's collar if they wiggle a lot, and also that it's also easy to get off their collar too, including, by them. So you might want to keep that in mind if considering that leash. And then last off is the trusty classic. Many people use this leash. You've seen it all over the place. That one's very good leash. This clasp is, I would just make sure you look for a clasp that is good quality, that, closes nice, and obviously the leash materials are made of quality material here. That being said, I would highly recommend, if you haven't already, looking at getting a slip lead. So those are my 3 leashes that I have in my collection. I will probably in the future try out more leashes than these, but these are my 3 I have in my collection. I would recommend going about 6 foot just for, general use, but I'm very happy with these for the most part. The clip on that one is big. But anyway, I hope that helped you. Maybe if you're trying to look at getting a leash and you were wondering about something like this, or even a slip lead. And thank you for watching Small Brown Dog Channel.